You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hello, we are Enterprise-splaining, the podcast where we explain Star Trek Enterprise to each other and to you. I'm Maria, and these are my co-hosts, Bill.
Hello.
And Jamie.
Hi.
And once again, we have our friend Rebecca joining us. Rebecca, welcome back. Tell our listeners who the hell you are once again.
Thank you. So glad to be back. I am, of course, a Star Trek expert professionally. I have a YouTube channel. You can see my videos at skepchick.org or on YouTube by searching for Rebecca Watson or at patreon.com/Rebecca. I make videos about science and critical thinking and the United States descent into fascism.
So science fiction then.
Yeah.
All right. So today our mission is a second contact. Last week, Rebecca told Jamie, Bill, and I what happened in the Star Trek Enterprise episode, Precious Cargo. And we have all now watched the episode and are back. So make sure you listen to last week's episode before you listen to this one, or you will get terrible, terrible spoilers.
Yeah, and you don't want to. There's so many twists and turns in that episode.
So important.
You really don't.
I feel like every time you watch this episode, it's like seeing it with new eyes for the first time.
Yeah.
So a little bit of pod business before we get into this. Jamie and I are going to be at DragonCon, which is coming up really soon. And if you are there, check out Jamie, who will be on panels in the science track. And I will be also there somewhere wandering around, possibly in Star Trek cosplay. So come say hi. Also, we have merch now. So if you go to esonetwork.com and click the TeePublic link, you will find Enterprise-splaining logo t-shirts and hopefully soon Porthos Appreciation Society t-shirts as well. So let's get into this. In Precious Cargo, as you may recall, the Enterprise comes upon a cargo ship that requests some help fixing their life support system. And when Trip goes over to help, he finds Padma Lakshmi in one of their stasis pods. And that pod immediately fails, and Trip has to release her. And he realizes that she's actually a princess and a hostage, and they get kidnapped and go into a Star Wars episode. They escape to a tiny escape pod and go to Dagobah.
You sound so bored just explaining that.
Yeah. It's the most boring episode. Like,
It's not the most boring episode, trust me.
Oh. Well, yeah, I guess I wouldn't know, but I guess I remain stunned that the unsexiest episode came from something starring Padma Lakshmi as a guest star. Like, devoid of sex appeal somehow.
Well, do you think it might have something to do with the incredibly natural way she speaks every line in this episode?
Yeah, I had a few things. I have a little bit of one of our favorite segments, things Maria yelled while watching this episode while high. And one is, listen, man, I don't want to go against my people. Padma Lakshmi looks amazing. That dress was gorgeous, but she is not a good actress.
Okay, the dress was not gorgeous. She looked gorgeous in the dress.
She could have been wearing a paper bag.
It's a difference.
I thought it had sort of original series vibes to me. It kind of gave me that's sort of the kind of thing that you would see in original series, in my opinion. That sort of pale pink silk with the slit. I don't know. It just gave, and maybe it was just, again, as you said, her in that.
I think Rebecca described it as a late 90s prom dress, and I couldn't stop laughing as soon as I saw
exactly
that.
Right.
She even had the strappy silver heels with it.
Oh
Yes,
my
she
God.
did. Now, later, when she is wearing the golden slip when they're on the swamp planet, is amazing because she had her hair down in that messy, styled way.
Oh, when she had her hair down, she got a blowout somehow in the swamp. I don't know how, but it looked so good.
I have so many questions about that gold slip. Where did it come from? Was she wearing it under the dress? Because it was ripped at the same level. So she ripped through 2 layers of clothing when she ripped that dress up? what the fuck, and how did it look so good? I was like, I have questions, logistical
Her
questions.
other dress absolutely did not have 2 layers to it because you could tell it was so flimsy.
And why would she have a gold underlayer when she was wearing silver heels? It makes no sense.
Maybe it was trips.
Or it was like in the emergency kit next to the
Exactly.
camelback.
Well, there you go.
Just in case you need a sexy slip to wear.
Also, I did love that Connor Trenier put his undershirt back on. He was shirtless, and then he put it back on. It was...
Yeah.
Okay, one weird thing about him being shirtless is when he put his the blue uniform on, it's the first time that we've ever seen anybody with the blue uniform without an undershirt. So it was like zipped down and you could see his chest and it did not look good. I don't undershirt's important when wearing their Enterprise uniform.
That's probably why they made him put it back on.
On the other hand, my third costume note, I'm surprised to be the costume person here. Speaking of unzipped crew uniforms, let's talk about Padma Lakshmi in the last scene where she is walking down the hallway wearing...
In that Enterprise uniform?
Coveralls half unzipped. Yes, please. Thank you very much.
Did she just get hotter?
Yeah, I don't know how she got hotter by putting on a fucking jumpsuit, but she did.
It's the half unzipped that's crucial. That is something we have
that's
never
fair.
seen on this incredibly horny show. But I like the fact that her sovereign guards just kind of suck, I think, is the idea we need to take. Because they didn't bring her an outfit to wear. She's just wearing these commoners' clothes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Also, the outfits that the other aliens wore were so ugly. They had like leather squares of differing sizes that were badly, they looked like hand stitched together badly.
Yeah.
It was so ugly. And then, but another costume thing, T'Pol's tribunal outfit with like the flowy robes. She actually looked great in them. I know, Rebecca, that you want her in something sexier, but we see her in sexy stuff all the time. And I thought that she looked great in the flowing robes.
She worked it.
Yeah, I mean, I have no criticism about the costume choice for her. My criticism was for the let's put on a show aspect of it, the little rascals of it all, when it was unnecessary, completely unnecessary. You already threatened to blow him out an airlock. What is happening?
I had a couple of questions about that. One, which was a question you had. What the fuck is that room, that tribunal room? What were the logistics of clearing that out? Did Archer just be like, clear everything out of the mess hall for 20 minutes while we do this? Secondly, and this is another thing I yelled while high, T'Pol is a fucking liar. She was acting in that scene. She is a fucking lying liar who lies, and that's why the Vulcans hate her.
No, all Vulcans lie. Vulcans are liars in this show. In this show, Vulcans can only lie. It's very hard for them
This
to tell the
seems
truth.
racist. I don't know how I feel about this.
The racist part is when T'Pol starts talking about, you know what Klingons are like. She has been wrong every single time.
Yeah. Also, when T'Pol and Archer come upon Padma and Trip in the swamp, like digging in the swamp for whatever they were looking for, and there's that very funny little scene where they show up. Right. The look on T'Pol's face, well, supposedly very funny.
Quote-unquote funny.
Yeah. But the look on T'Pol's face is pure joy because she knows she has so much more ammunition to shit on Trip with now. Like, this is beyond the he got pregnant. It's beyond the one late, all of that. She's like, it's another piece of ammunition. And that's what she likes the most.
Well, she's also mentioned.
I'm sorry,
in the
wait. He got pregnant?
Yeah.
He got pregnant. See, it's this thing where, like, if a pretty alien lady tells you to stick your hand in a bowl of rocks, do not stick your hand in that bowl of rocks.
You know what'll happen? You'll end up with a nipple on your wrist.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad I didn't.
But T'Pol has said that, like, she thinks that Archer and Trip need to get laid more. She was very concerned that they
particularly
were
Archer.
not fucking. So even though Archer still has not
that's
fucked
true.
anyone.
He hasn't
as far
fucked
as we know.
anybody?
No.
No. Well,
Shame.
yeah.
But
he didn't
Trip-
want. There was a lady he wanted to fuck, but she turned into a slug.
It happens.
And we don't slug shame on this show, but
No, you shouldn't. I actually just found a slug today, and it was I was delighted. And then I was like, wait, it's in my garden. I feel like I should be angry. They're so cute. No.
did you want to fuck it?
Can't say that I did,
Yeah.
actually.
No.
So,
No.
yeah, I kind of...
What if it turned into a sexy lady and then back into a slug?
Oh, I'd fuck it then.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd wait until she turned back into the slug.
The only time we know of anybody having sex so far is Hoshi on Ryza.
Right.
Hoshi got some, but no one else did. Despite Malcolm and Trip trying real hard, they were not able to get any, even on Ryza.
We're not recapping the entire series.
Like, how do you not get laid on Ryza? Like, that's the whole point of Ryza. It's the sex planet.
Listen to the episode and find out.
Oh,
Rate, review, and subscribe.
Oh, right. I forgot that I'm actually an expert. I've listened to all of the episodes.
Yeah, you listen to all of our episodes.
I just forgot.
You get scammed by people pretending to be sexy ladies who then just steal your clothes because apparently their clothes were valuable.
Yeah, none of it made any sense.
Okay.
And then they didn't have time to fuck anyone else after they got free.
I had two more things. One was, again, things I yelled while watching this while high. This would be much better with musical numbers. If this had turned into a Bollywood episode, I'd have been all in.
Oh,
Would have been
fantastic.
Yeah, I agree with that.
great. And also, did you guys notice there were like these huge nets in the cargo bay? It looked like a pirate ship. Like, what was the purpose of those?
Oh, you think they were like catching space fish?
I don't know, but there were nets everywhere in the cargo bay. It was very strange.
They're special Padme Lakshmi tents. That
Oh, yeah. That's how they caught her. They threw out a net like a butterfly.
they were chumming the ocean with
Yeah, with sparkly dresses, and
exactly.
strappy heels.
I want to mention that swamp was the cleanest swamp I have ever
Oh, yeah.
seen in my life. Like, Rebecca, when you were telling us about how they're like rolling all over each other in the swamp, I was expecting it to be like mud wrestling, like they're going to be covered
No.
in mud, but there was not a drop of mud on them.
That would have been hot, and that's illegal in the show.
I think they were attempting some sort of swamp from here to eternity situation, and it just didn't work.
None of it worked.
This show, God, do you remember when we were convinced that this was going to be like the horny Star Trek, that it was just going to be just rubbing and tugging every single episode, and now they've just. But yeah, they didn't. This episode had they just didn't lean into the horny of this episode enough, because we're all everything needs to be pointing toward the moment where they finally kiss, and we need the tension and the tension and the tension. But they just didn't have any chemistry, and they lost a lot of. Yeah, this episode was not directed very well.
You could have even just kept the same script, and if you just had maybe better actors or some actors with some chemistry, it could have worked. And like, as somebody who has read romance novels, like it's all cliche and you know where it's going. Nothing's a surprise. But when it's done well, it doesn't matter.
And it's still fun, right.
You know every step that's gonna come and what the next scene's gonna be, but you still want to see it because you want to see how it plays out with those two.
Right.
And with this, like, there was no chemistry between them at all. They didn't even seem to like each other, and not in like a where
Will they,
I'm
won't
saying
they?
I don't like you, but actually there's sexual tension. There was no sexual tension. That was the problem.
They were like
Yeah.
siblings who are like
And, like,
slightly
bickering.
annoyed.
But they're
at each
not
other.
related by blood, and Mom and Dad are out of the house this weekend.
Stepbrother.
I do think there's a decent chance Connor Trenier did this episode for free. He was like, y'all don't have to pay me. It's fine.
Yeah,
Really. I'll just roll around with Padma Lakshmi in a tiny area for a while.
You would think it would come through. Like, I don't know. I there's a saying in like the blind gossip arena about celebrities, which is that if a couple is fucking in real life, they have no chemistry left over for the screen.
I've heard that.
So yeah, it's like,
So you think
maybe he hit that.
I'd feel good about that?
I have not seen any of her reality TV, and I'm sure she's great on that, but she's not a good actor
Yeah,
in this.
she-
This is
Yeah.
I looked up her on her IMDb to see what other acting she's done because I didn't even know that she had done any acting. And this was one of her last acting credits. She
see
just
why.
went all in on hosting, and I think that was probably smart.
Yeah.
I think I see why she did that because, I mean, her acting was absolutely atrocious. Her line readings were so wooden. It was like she had the script in front of her and was just verbatim reading it.
Yep. Agreed.
I bet she did. I bet they pulled like who's the guy from like Apocalypse Now where Marlon Brando, where they have
Marlon
to
Brando.
like hide the cue cards, like, yeah, stick the script to
the two names you want to mention in the same sentence: Marlon Brando
and Padma Lakshmi. Yeah.
Talk about
Yeah.
chemistry.
Look, both very fuckable. Neither can learn their lines. Actually, Marlon Brando apparently did like fuck everybody, like everybody,
I am not
men,
surprised.
women, dogs.
I have a couple other things. First of all, they often on the show mention the universal translator, and then they often will mention a communicator, but it was one and the same. It was the same device.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why are they always saying the universal translator versus the communicator when they're talking about the same device?
Because they don't trust the audience to understand that the thing they call a communicator helps you communicate like across languages.
Right.
So they're like,
I guess I just like always thought that the communicator was just for talking like to
Like the
like
radio.
it was like a walkie-talkie,
Yeah.
essentially.
I mean, it makes sense that it would be in the same.
It does make sense, but I just sometimes they call it one thing and sometimes they call it the other, and I didn't realize it was one device.
I guess it's what they're using it for.
If you're taking a photo of people, you might not necessarily say, hand me your phone. You might say, hand me the camera, even though it is the same device.
Fair.
That's why am I
That's sort of
defending
what I'm-
this shit?
I don't know. It happens.
We do
it's
this
a
all the
psychosis
time.
that happens when you watch this show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, do I
it's a real
have
problem.
Stockholm syndrome?
It's the human brain's natural idea to connect two unrelated points to create. I was like, oh, obviously this makes sense.
All right, and I have one more thing. In the scenes where Archer was trying to intimidate the alien prisoner, I was like, this seems like it should be against the Geneva Convention.
Yeah.
So I went to the UN Human Rights website and I found the part of the Geneva Convention where it says that you can't do exactly what he was doing.
Yep.
It is part 3 of Article 17. It says no physical or mental torture, nor any other form of coercion may be inflicted on prisoners of war to secure from them information of any kind whatsoever. Prisoners of war who refuse to answer may not be threatened, insulted, or exposed to any unpleasant or disadvantageous treatment of any kind.
And that's the law on Earth, which is 100 million light years that away.
So I just want to say Captain Jonathan Archer is officially a war criminal.
I mean, I think we knew that.
Yeah, but I feel like we didn't have like a specific thing. Now we can say 100% he is a war criminal.
I feel like in the notes you gave me, like one of the things was specifically like, you know, what horrific thing did they do? Like what
Some
war
mild
crime?
genocide, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't their genocide was not their fault. That genocide was not their fault.
One of the genocides were not their fault. The other one,
the other one
perhaps
was.
Who's
two.
amongst us hasn't done a little genocide?
a little genocide here and there.
May it please the court, it's genocide, not genocides.
All right, Netanyahu, calm down.
Guilty with an explanation.
I mean, in the communicator, he did not commit the genocide. He just led
Okay,
their
We're not
planet.
recapping this show for
on a-
Rebecca.
I'm just saying, he led the planet on a path towards future genocide, just like that other genocide with the aliens with the disease thing.
I'll just take your word for it. Yeah. Not his fault.
I know we're not recapping all the episodes, but there was also that episode where they refused to give the cure to those people. They found a
That was
cure
the
for their
actual
disease.
genocide.
Yeah.
and they refuse to give it to them. And so by inaction, 100% caused them to all die.
Well, now that's just a trolley problem issue.
Kind of, yeah.
Only there's no one on the other track.
It's clear sailing all along.
If you pull the lever, like, everybody just lives. It's a real sticky issue.
Candy. Everybody gets candy.
Yeah, it's actually a benefit. Yeah.
So I had a few quick thoughts there. I thought it was hilarious that when they cut back, so they've been on the planet for however much time they've been on there, and Trip's been working on something, and they finally show it, and it looks like a hookah. It looks like Trip is just gonna get ripped out of his mind on swamp gas.
He's like, yeah, I licked this leaf earlier, and I think it has potential.
I cannot believe he literally called himself the king of the swamp. I was so happy. I want to get that as a tattoo.
A potential future merch is a shirtless Trip with King of the Swamp on it, holding his hookah. Just gonna put that out there.
I like the implication that after their swamp wrestling match, Trip put that ass to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
And the other thing I had this, I just struck me as funny is when T'Pol is pretending to be the judge of death, and everybody, Archer has to act so incredibly afraid of her and like bow down in her presence. And he goes,
That's great.
and goes, "Hello, Sub-Commander." And I said, "Sub-Commander, commanding the subs."
Wow, I like how even if the show fails at being the horniest ever, you guys are still going to interpret it as horny as possible.
We manage.
Oh yeah, we're helpers.
The last thing I had was when, during the swamp fighting scene, I yelled to the tune of the Transformers theme, "Swamp fighting, fighting in the swamp." And now that is stuck in my head, so it's going to be in your heads too.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I did have one more thing.
Go for it.
At the very end, Archer and T'Pol and Hoshi were the ones that went down to the planet to pick up Trip. But that means that Travis was left in charge of the Enterprise.
Wow, yeah. Was he, though? Did we see it?
No, wait. Oh, I forgot about Malcolm. I guess Malcolm is in charge.
How come Malcolm didn't go down to the planet?
Yeah, it would make sense to have your security guy.
He wasn't even really in the show.
He walked the guy down the corridor.
He did.
That was very important.
Yeah,
And
why
got
did
shot.
they take Hoshi but not Malcolm? Like, they didn't know what was down on that planet.
Because they didn't know if they could... I don't know.
And why did
Don't
T'Pol go down? It
Well,
doesn't...
T'Pol had to see Trip and
Sir Paul needed to see Trip in that
the
situation.
first monarch together.
So the effeminate British guy is like the security guy?
Yeah.
He's a man of many titles.
He keeps getting different titles. They keep changing his title on us.
Armory officer.
Armory
he's,
officer.
Now he's tactical officer.
Like, I didn't
Head
think a
of
security
security.
officer could be less intimidating than Odo, but they managed to do it.
My one last question. Why did she go with Trip to begin with? She kept saying, all I have to do is stay here and wait for the ransom to get paid. And then she's like, okay, fine, I'll go with you. No need for that. There was never anything in the narrative, as far as I could tell, that said that they were planning on murdering her or anything. From what I could tell, their plan was ransom her and give her back.
Staying on the ship was the right decision because A, he didn't know how to pilot it. They didn't know if there was a planet they could live on. He didn't know if he could land the damn thing. And also, he knows the Enterprise is out there looking for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Wasn't his argument that because their ship was so slow, it was going to be another few weeks for them to get to her planet?
Yeah, that's fair.
That was enough to convince her, apparently.
It's just animal magnetism. It was the raw passion.
Yeah, you could see it in her eyes.
All right, now it's time for some read alerts. Sometimes we get mail or people messaging us on Blue Sky and telling us things. Jamie, can you tell us about some of the recent read alerts we've had?
You have to explain that read is spelled R-E-A-D, not R-E-E-D. Like the read alerts on the show. Otherwise, the segment doesn't make sense.
Okay, but that's not in the template, Jamie.
In Bill's words, not to pull back the curtain, but we haven't recorded in a month, which means we've had so much mail. So we've got a lot of read alerts today. The first one is Doug. And I want to mention, if you guys write to us and you don't tell us what your pronouns are, I will make an assumption based on your name. And if I get it wrong, I'm sorry. So Doug, assuming him, Doug sent us an email to thank us, or actually to thank me, for recommending Rachel Reed's Game Changers series. This is the gay hockey smut series that I have mentioned in the past.
Nice.
And I only actually recommended 2 of the books. He read the entire series, loved it all, and now is reading Rachel Reed's newest gay hockey novel, The Shots You Take, which is set in a different universe, a different gay hockey player universe. So
it's a good jumping on point for new readers.
Right.
yeah, so if you listen to my recommendation and read some of the gay hockey smut from Rachel Reed in the Game Changer series, you should also read The Shots You Take. He says it has been an emotional gut punch and essential questions about aging as a gay man, friendship, love, mental health, and caring for and loving our older relatives. And he said that some people really hate one of the main characters in this book, but he really liked it. So
Cool.
he recommends, I guess, that we read that.
Sweet.
I just want to see Riker with his heels up reading gay hockey smut. And, like Diana is doing something with the child and just walks past and doesn't even care. Deanna, sorry.
By the way, the gay hockey smut book I mentioned is being made into a TV show.
Really?
I'm so excited.
Nice.
That's incredible.
Please tell me it's by the Letterkenny guys.
It is by the Letterkenny guys. How did you know, Phil?
Yes.
Oh God, I'm manifesting again. Everybody run.
Oh my God, Bill, say no more. Say no more.
Did you say that as a joke? Because it is actually the guy who created Letterkenny is creating this new series that's
Amazing.
based on Heated Rivalry, the gay hockey smut book by Rachel Reed.
Wow.
Incredible.
That is incredible. I can't wait to tell my MAGA hockey fan family members that this new TV show is the successor to Slapshot. Yeah, like they made a TV show after all these years.
We also got an email from a listener named Bill, different from our Bill.
Maybe.
And he was commenting on us talking about how T'Pol's uniform, her white uniform in Marauders, was just spotless despite running around the desert. And Bill or Maria, or I guess Rebecca, are you guys familiar with the British comedy The Man in the White Suit?
Yes.
No.
I was going to say, this
It's
feels like a Bill
Ealing-
thing.
Ealing studio comedy. Yep.
Apparently the guy in that creates a fabric that can never get stained or dirty.
Oh.
So maybe he made T'Pol's outfit.
And as a result of that, he is hunted down by the Soap Association, the dry cleaners. They all want him dead. That is literally the plot of the movie.
I love imagining that Enterprise exists in that universe. We also got an email from a listener named Rachel. She had 2 things for us. The first is a comment on Bill saying in a past episode that Trek usually reflects contemporary politics, but Bill, you said you thought Enterprise does not, but she feels that it really does for contemporary, like 2002, when if you think about like the war in Afghanistan and the Iraq war, that like the US did just go and attack civilians and get involved with other countries' politics, just like the Enterprise seems to do all the time. So that brings us back to the like Archer as Bush in space
Touché.
conversation.
Do you guys think that it's possible the show is holding their actions up as a negative thing?
It's an interesting take because, like I say, they'll do stuff where the men are acting like jerks, and clearly the point of the episode is that the show knows they're acting like jerks, but then they'll do things where they commit war crimes, and the show is like, that was a real puzzler, but...
Right, okay.
Let's move on and never talk about it.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like the scene with like Archer basically not like torture, but like I would say mentally torturing that guy or like threatening him. I felt like the show was on board with it. Like, I don't feel like the show is critiquing.
Yeah, no, in this particular episode, they were like, look how clever these guys, look how clever our gang is.
Oh, for sure.
While they commit their war crimes.
Yeah, you brought up Little Rascals, Rebecca. Are you binging them?
It's a Little Rascals storyline. Like,
I don't disagree.
In fact, even Rachel in her email said that she can't tell if Enterprise is a critique or endorsement of Bush, but just that she recognizes it in the show.
Yeah, it's kind of like 24 is also a quintessential early 2000s show that did occasionally like throw some shade on torture and American imperialism, but ultimately celebrated it. You know,
I don't think I ever watched 24, but it definitely seemed like it was.
It fucking rules.
This is what we fucking have to do, right? This is a thing we have to do to fucking get rid of the terrorists.
So long as you accept that what you're seeing is like literally the worst of humanity being celebrated, and you accept that, it fucking rules. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not watching 24. Not right now, for sure.
I will not Rikermend it, particularly at this moment.
The second thing that Rachel said is that she has a theory that T'Pol, Archer, and Trip are in a throuple relationship.
That checks out.
I like it.
And that Archer bottoms for T'Pol.
We all bottom for
Oh,
T'Pol.
well, that already came up today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of saw it in that like torture scene.
Yeah.
What's up?
And the grin that T'Pol had when she
Yeah.
came upon them in Dagobah, for lack of a better phrase.
Rachel thinks that Archer is a bratty bottom. And so every time he's being rude to T'Pol, he's just being the bratty bottom. It has all been negotiated beforehand because we love consent.
That's a better way to look at things, to be honest. I would prefer that to be the explanation for how fucking awfully they treat each other.
Yeah, it is a lot more fun. I would
Yeah.
like the show a lot better if this is true. And then we don't usually talk about reviews, but we did get a review that I want to mention.
Uh-oh.
A person on iTunes gave us 5 stars, and they said they love our show except for the Diane Warren segment.
Oh, how dare.
Oh, I loved
honestly-
that segment. I got a lot of
Thank
work
you.
done, actually, while that was going on.
I am legitimately shocked that this is the first time we have gotten
That's a great point.
anybody complain about that segment. When I started it, I was sure it was going to lead to hate mail. Like, I recognize that having a segment about Diane Warren on our Star Trek podcast does not make sense. And I actually, when we first started the show, I thought that we should start adding timestamps for like different segments in the show notes so people could easily skip things like the Diane Warren segment. And Maria was like, absolutely not. We should just make people listen to everything. We don't
Fuck
want to
that.
encourage skipping.
I agree with Maria.
And the main reason for that is I don't have the time to do that shit. Fuck you. Listen, hit forward on your player, man.
Do what I do, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like you know, the higher end restaurants, like the Michelin starred restaurants, oftentimes you can't do substitutions because the whole thing is part of the masterpiece.
That's right.
Like you can't just remove the onions
That is
and
our
still
show.
have a
Our
good
show's a
meal.
What is
masterpiece.
enterprise splaining if not the Michelin-starred
The
restaurant?
Michelin-starred
of the
restaurant of the
podcasting
podcast
universe.
world. Yes.
Every episode is a
Gold.
delicious meal for you.
Yeah,
to
a
enjoy.
symphony for your taste buds.
A carefully curated meal
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. So the amuse-bouche that is the Diane Warren update is essential to truly enjoying the rest of the show.
Yep.
The same day that I saw this review, we also got a message on Blue Sky from
You have been blocked by Diane Warren at Blue Sky.
we got a message from Darth E. Virus on Blue Sky, who was very excited about the segment on Diane Warren where I mentioned that she has Asperger's. He said he has a family member with Asperger's and found it really encouraging to hear about other successful people like Diane Warren. who
Yeah,
also
have
it.
hope, people with Asperger's. You too could be the Diane Warren of your time.
Hey, man.
I mean,
I've
she
seen her
is
career.
worth $500 million.
Yes.
So
Fucking-
I will just say once again, the theme song is genuinely terrible, and I hate it.
yeah. No, you're not wrong about any of that.
But yeah,
that's the thing
for
is like
her.
she's not good. Her songs are generally not very good. They're very not unlike this episode where it's just like cliches.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but they do well.
Some would say derivative.
She's done very, very
Maybe
well.
the word derivative is...
Great word for it.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry to the person who reviewed it. You're welcome to skip it.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us 5 stars.
And you're going to have to just do the 30 seconds forward until you stop hearing her name.
Yep.
Because no timestamps here.
Nope.
No, and we are not getting rid of the Diane Warren segment. We get too much mail from people who actually love it. I think people love it ironically, but people definitely tell us that they love it, and not like the way Rebecca just said it, where you were definitely not being serious. Most people who say that they love it sound like they mean it, and it doesn't make sense even to me. But
no,
that's where we are.
You know what? There's a lid for every pot. That's a thing I've heard.
Anyways, that was our last read alert.
Thank you to everyone who wrote in. Thank you.
Last week, we did get recommendations from Rebecca, but sounds like you have another one.
Yeah,
Rebecca,
shut up. I heard
you-
that I'm not supposed to do it twice in a row, but fuck you. You're going to take my recommendation.
Oh, she's so bratty. What are we going to have to do with her? I'm just trying to fix this podcast, lady.
My recommendation for this week is Terry Pratchett. That's it. That's it.
It's probably the 3rd or 4th one we've had. Fantastic.
Oh, okay. Well, I will. All right. I'll expand in case this differentiates it from previous recommendations. Yeah, everything Jeff Bezos does fucking sucks. Avoid at all costs. But I'm sorry, Audible has put out the best audiobooks.
Yeah, they're so good.
With like famous people who are really good voice actors, including Bill Nighy as like the footnotes. And
Peter Serafinowicz as Death.
Peter Serafinowicz as Death. I wasn't even expecting him to show up in the one I'm listening to now. I'm listening to Sorcery right now. And I'm like, holy shit, Death just showed up and they got Peter Serafinowicz back. Like, it's cool.
And it looks like the next book on the list is narrated by Padma Lakshmi. Oh,
no! Abort!
Okay, and that's the episode.
That's her recommendation for the episode.
Recommendation for the episode and the episode.
Guys, I had so much fun doing this show. Thank you for inviting me. This was very enjoyable.
Thank you for coming back and giving us that incredible explanation.
Of course.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Next episode, Jamie will be telling us about the episode The Catwalk.
Special guest star, Heidi Klum. Heidi Klum is a hostage on an alien ship, and Trip must rescue her.
Special thanks to K.O. Myers at Particulate Media for sound assistance, and to our friend David for the beautiful cover art, and to John Stephen King for being the voice of our computer. If you like the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on your podcast app of choice, and tell your friends about it. We really appreciate it. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook as Enterprise Splaining, and on Blue Sky as Enterprise Splain. You can also email us any comments or questions such as, is her name really T-Paul? To enterprisesplaining@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. And if you want to support this podcast, you can find us at Buy Me a Coffee as Enterprise Splaining. See you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, Rebecca, thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca.
No, thanks
you
for
so
having me.
much.
This was a lot of fun. I'll never do it again.
I know.
Just kidding. I might.
Rebecca, you know that none of us are actually editing this episode.
Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Who's that?
KO's
Is it
editing
KO?
this
K.O.
one.
Okay.
Myers is the one that gets to hear
KO,
this.
my future cancellation is in your hands. Please decide.
I'm Drew Leiter.
And I'm Cletus Jacobs.
Join the Earth Station DCU podcast this summer as we continue to review DC All In, as well as Creature Commandos, Peacemaker Season 2, and of course, James Gunn's Superman movie.
Also, check out our new Earth Station DCU Bat Chums Patreon, where we are reviewing Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run. There's never been a greater time to be a DC fan.
The Earth Station DCU podcast, part of the ESO Network.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.